In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to pivot table in Excel. If you've never used a pivot table before, don't worry. This is one of the most useful features in Excel for quickly organizing, summarizing, and analyzing data without changing the original data set. Once you know where to click, it becomes very straightforward. To get started, open your worksheet and select an empty cell. This is important because you want to begin from a clean area before creating the pivot table. Choosing an empty cell helps Excel understand that you're setting up a new summary table rather than editing existing data. Next, go to the Insert tab at the top of Excel. The Insert tab is where you'll find tools for adding charts, tables, and of course, pivot tables. Once you're there, click Pivot Table. This opens the pivot table creation window, where you'll tell Excel which data you want to analyze. In that window, click the up arrow next to the table or range field. This lets you manually choose the exact data range you want to include. After clicking the arrow, select the Worksheet tab that contains your data. This is helpful if your raw data is stored on a different sheet from where you want the pivot table to appear. Now highlight the full range of data you want to use. Then click the drop-down arrow to return to the pivot table setup window. When selecting your data, make sure to include all relevant columns and rows so your pivot table has everything it needs. It's also a good idea that your data has clear column headers, since those headers will become the field names inside the pivot table. Once the correct range appears in the box, click OK. Excel will then create the pivot table area and open the field list panel, which is where the real customization begins. From here, click each of the checkboxes for the fields you want to add. As you check them, Excel automatically places the data into the pivot table and starts building a summary for you. This is the step where your information becomes easier to read and analyze. Depending on the type of data, Excel may group it as totals, counts, categories, or labels. Take your time here and experiment with the checkboxes so you can see how the pivot table changes. That flexibility is exactly what makes pivot tables so powerful in Excel. And that's how to create a pivot table in Excel, starting from selecting your data all the way to adding fields into your summary table. If this tutorial helped you, please consider subscribing. We post new software tutorials every day to help you get the most out of your favorite tools. Thanks for watching.